Hello, everyone, and welcome back to season two of Truly Madly Falkenstein. Uh, I have some wonderful players. I have a fabulous host with the most. We are here, we are ready, and I'm going to throw it first to Trooper up there. Introduce yourself, sir, and whom you are playing.
Hello and welcome. I am Trooper SJP, and I'm playing Adolf Brandt, who is our action alchemist.
Indeed, our action alchemist. And for those of you playing at home, there will be a link in the description. Uh, our action alchemist is the first of our wonderful art pieces to get his own merch. So the merch link for action alchemist merch will be in the description bar when you get to see this. And directly below, Trooper Lindy, welcome back. How are you doing? Who are you
Hello.
playing?
Hi, 'tis I, Lindy of the Laugh Love Variety, and I will be playing Zephyrin Moreau, who is an aspiring supervillain. Big dreams,
Big
big
dreams.
inventions.
That big dreams. Uh,
Yep.
and
I mean,
I
I mean, aspiring inventor. Did I say supervillain? My
Well, I
bad.
mean, is it a supervillain or is she on the path to being like a national hero? Which one
You
is it?
could really, the scales could tip anyway at
It
this
could,
point, honestly.
yeah, 50-50 tip, 50-50 proposition. And I am a friendly neighborhood Prax. I will be playing Lady Deirdre. She is our murder fairy godmother who's here to provide assistance, occasional murder, and make certain people's life horrible. But we directly above me on the overlay we have Chris. Chris is our host with the most, and it's his little shindig.
Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad to be back with these amazing players and for our season two, where we are finding ourselves in Paris. Yes, Paris. And for my players, because I forgot to tell them, there's a new map for you to look at in the drive if you want to peruse the map of Paris in 1889. Why 1889, audience? Because after all of the success in Norway, we find ourselves in the midst of a little bit of a time skip. Not a full year per se, but well, I'd say it's probably around 6, 7 months of time, and we're in January of 1889. And I'm going to start with Zephyrin, as she was given an invite by the French Minister of Science, Jules Verne, to study together this engine that I believe she successfully didn't just take the notes, but took the engine itself. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We destroyed the one bad part of it
Mm-hmm.
and disassembled and moved that bitch out. Like it's gone.
All
Moved to
right.
Paris.
So tell
Very
the
proactive.
audience a little bit about how this, shall I say, fangirl reacted to meeting Jules Verne the first time.
Oh, she played it super cool. She played it super cool. Um, but wasn't uncool for very long because as soon as like the actual studying hits,
Mm-hmm.
like the actual work hits, pure like focus work mode. I'll give her that. She
Mm-hmm.
is at least hyper focused on inventing things and finding out how what makes things tick. So whenever there was a social moment, it was, a little awkward. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever there was working time, it was working time, and it was she was very efficient.
Excellent, excellent. So let's start with a social skill of your choice from the skill list
Absolutely.
that you want to use as representing how you interacted with Vern as his guest, his house guest, even.
Yeah. So social skills are
Mm-hmm.
spades, I believe.
No,
Yep,
no,
yep,
hearts,
yep.
hearts. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Hearts?
Spades.
Spades.
You could
Spades, spades,
go. You
spades.
could go charisma hearts, and that would be fine too.
That's true. It's true. Let me see. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do just her base charisma because I don't think there's a lot of social graces and fancy. I don't think there's a lot of like renown going on here. I
Uh-huh.
think it's
Uh-huh.
or her connections. I think it's just her base raw charisma here, and I'm gonna use this Ace of Hearts for that, and my charisma is a
Ooh.
good, so it's +6.
Okay. So while you may not be the most prim and proper polished person to ever grace
Mm-hmm.
the Verne Mansion in Paris,
Yep.
you are very charming, as we all know, right? That's not just Zephyrine, of course. That's Lindy too. Uh, and so, tell us a little bit about what Zephyrine's charms and wiles, shall I say, look like when they're on display.
I don't think it's a conscious effort because it's charisma and it's not like
Mm-hmm.
social graces or something. So I think it's just how genuinely excited she gets about things. Like whether it be the snacks, or like lunch breaks,
Mm-hmm.
or the work itself, taking notes, organizing the notes, taking things apart, putting I think it's just her genuine enthusiasm is a little contagious and if you're also an inventor, you'd probably find that quality very endearing. If you were an average Joe on the street who doesn't give a single flying hoop-de-da about inventing or how things work, you'd probably find it really annoying. But if you're an inventor, you'd probably be like, "Oh, that's so endearing. She's really into this. She could so genuinely. I could put a puzzle box in front of her, and she'd be as giddy as a 5-year-old on Christmas morning." You know. I think it's just her
Excellent.
genuine enthusiasm
Mm-hmm.
for aspects of life. Like food and inventing, which is I'm sure
Yes,
mostly the sides he sees is lunch breaks and working on things and tea.
that's fair. And the macaroons or macarons.
Oh yes, macarons.
Mm-hmm.
Macarons.
Which we've established are already one of her favorites,
Oh
correct?
yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
all right. And then give me a tinkering slash invention card.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you two.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give multiples if you wish.
And my
Absolutely.
tinkering invention is excellent +10.
Ah, nice. So that's a total of a 24 for your time
Yeah.
there. What's one, shall we say, not necessarily breakthrough, but major accomplishment that you had during this time?
Um, I think maybe because this engine was powered by had some star metal in it, I believe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like bad star metal. So I think that had some sus magics in it. I think maybe the way that Anders made this engine maybe didn't use how people typically connect star metal to the rest of the device. Maybe there was like there was an interesting bypass that he used
Mm-hmm.
and for something to connect it to this different kind of magic that isn't the kind of magic that's typically used, but that opens the possibilities is if that bypass works for this, could it work for other things? Like is this
Mm-hmm.
could we use these specific routings that he used to generate power in a different way, or could we use it for different applications?
Absolutely. So the energy that was called upon for this particular engine was actual dark energy from the enemy itself, which Deirdre would knew well enough to vehemently destroy at the end of
Mm-hmm.
season 1. But one of the things that you've learned is that it was the heat generated by it, and you believe that the harnessing of elemental heat or magic itself could accomplish the same thing in a much less nefarious manner.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
so previously, sorcerers engineers like Rhyme, the dwarf,
Mm-hmm.
use an infusion of raw magic when combining the star metal with the rest of the engine. But this one specifically focuses on heat generating magic, like the element of fire. So there's a little bit of a difference there. And the applications are broad. So
Yeah.
I like where that's headed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Revolutionize
last
things.
question for Zephyrine before we move
Absolutely.
along to the others is going to be how is she as a house guest, just in general? Like, you're staying in his mansion, obviously with a chaperone.
Yes, obviously. Well, I think we kind of saw how she was as a house guest in season 1. But I imagine she's a house guest on her best behavior here, so maybe less lounging like this, and maybe like a little bit of posture in public spaces.
Okay.
Not the private spaces, but in public spaces, a little less nonchalance. Probably a little bit more polite than usual.
No wandering around in her nightgown after hours.
Maybe just a little bit of that.
Okay, just a little.
Just a little bit of that. You know, you got to keep it spicy.
Excellent, excellent. And who did you decide to take as your chaperone in this particular instance? Did you
Not
bring
audible.
your mother, a servant? Did you try and talk Lady Deirdre into coming with you?
Oh, she seems like there was some stuff going on with some courtly things, so I don't think she would have bothered Lady Deirdre. Maybe I think like a servant of her mother's, because her mother's also a fairly busy person. But I imagine there's like you know someone who works.
She's well
house.
connected
like
in
her lady's
Paris,
maid.
so yeah, okay.
Yeah, probably her own lady's maid.
Has the audience met her lady's maid before?
I don't think so. No, because when we traveled, she didn't bring her lady's maid with her. We were assigned a lady's maid, so I don't think she has.
That's fair. That's fair. Does she do I need to randomly generate a name for her, or do you have a name in mind?
Let's go with Genevieve.
Genevieve. Ooh, I like that. That's a nice name. So Zephyrine, I'm typing this in the Discord for us, so I can look back.
And I imagine it's one of those old school things where she kind of grew up with Zephyrine to a certain extent, so she's probably just a year or two older than Zephyrine.
So is she your lady's maid or is she your companion?
Probably like lady's maid, companion as a child, but then shifted into lady's maid as they hit teenagehood. That's pretty common.
Do you have a spelling in mind for Genevieve, or would you like me to just generate one?
I wrote it down as just Geniveve. You know,
Geniveve. Excellent.
Pretty sure there's supposed to be another E in there somewhere.
There's like not seven.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Five variations on the spelling of Genevieve. So I was like, do I have to look up the one that's specifically French?
I don't think it matters all that much. It'd be fine.
Hey, it could matter to you. That's why
it could matter. It could matter. If it was a main character, if it was me, I'd probably care a lot more, but it's not. So
okay, fair enough. All right. With that in mind, let's go to our action alchemist. You've had a variety of past experiences in Paris as well. You're back in Paris at this point, say early January 1889. What brought Adelwulf back to Paris after the Norwegian incident?
Well, he is assigned to Amsterdam. That is where he's stationed, as it were. So he would only be here if he were given a mission by his order to come here for some reason, because he is a good worker, and he does what he is told. So I think, generally speaking, that he would only be here if he were given some task to do out this way, or if he had been reassigned.
Okay. Let's go with a long-term task that could take a couple of months rather than just a week or two. Um, ooh, Masonic Lodge, correct? That's the Brotherhood of
Hmm?
is who you or who your lodge is, correct?
Um, his
Am I remembering
lodge.
that
Let me
correctly?
pull up my.
For your
Where did my
magic.
character sheet go? There it is. He is a member of the. I'm because I actually am not certain it is
Yeah,
the.
the Grand
Let me
Order of the
see.
Freemasonic Lodge. There it is.
Yes, he's part of the Freemasons. Yes, indeed.
Um, so, yeah, the we'll have them call upon you as they have a large presence in Paris. They're looking for someone of your particular talents as they were investigating. Uh, I don't know. What's something that Adelwolf would be interested in? Something like, would it be laboratory related? Are we talking um, more out on the street investigation? What would Adelwolf be more drawn to?
Um, I mean, it's sort of tricky because he basically does whatever he's told. But if you want
Mm-hmm.
to look at his best skills are education
Mm-hmm. Sorcery, of course.
and sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Are his two best skills. On top of that, here we go. Rather than sorcery and education, his sorcery is excellent. His education is great. His
Mm-hmm.
good skills are athletics, courage, fencing, outdoorsmanship, and social graces. But we're in Paris, so outdoorsmanship is and athletics probably are not going to be. So probably he's here to find books. Probably
Mm-hmm.
imagine if we're talking about education, since I don't think his outdoorsy stuff is going to be very Parisian. So probably they just have him here to
Do
find
some
books or
research.
do some
Yeah.
research probably.
Okay, that makes sense. And we'll say it's on. Well, the applications. Why not? Let's make a general connection here. The applications of elemental fire outside of like sorcery in combined ways, whether that be with sorceress engineering of sorts, or that be with other applications in the sciences. Um, they're
Let's see.
looking for
So
connections.
which says to me, because we don't have those skills in our order, we only do illusions and
Mm-hmm.
out yeah, we don't actually have any sort of things like that, which would probably imply to me that I'm probably here to. Well, I don't even know if we have any connections with the orders that actually do have elemental magic. um
You may or may not,
hmm.
but it looks like the Freemasons are seeking um, information in how it might be used in its applications, not necessarily trying to apply it themselves, but they're definitely concerned about this, what they feel like could be a future trend, and they want to be
So
ahead.
does this mean I've been sent to try to make connections with an order that does have the ability to deal with um,
It
elemental
could
magic?
absolutely, as part of the research process, making connections definitely can be a part of that.
Okay. Am I authorized to give away our secrets for their secrets? Because I know that orders never like to give away their secrets because the game does not want us to have magic outside of our orders. So I need
Mm-hmm.
to know what I'm authorized to do or not to do. Um, as it were.
That's a good question. If
Hmm?
if the secret itself is one of the more basic spells and you are getting a secret for a secret, it's fine. If you are applying, or if they are asking for something that makes you feel nervous in any way, they would request that you speak to someone higher in the order before making such a deal.
All right.
But
I
they
would
trust your
request that you
judgment.
pass. I would request that you go on to Prax so I can do research on which orders have that, and then I can
Perfect.
come back to you with more
Perfect.
information.
We'll circle over to Lady Deirdre. Outside of the one little romp that you had in London, what else has Lady Deirdre been up to? For the audience, if you go and look at the Fisher House streams, there was an episode of Castle Falkenstein where Lady Deirdre made her presence available, and you can see that on YouTube.
And I'll make sure to link it in the description down below. And it will also be in this playlist for all of Truly Madly Falkenstein. But Lady Deirdre probably spent some time. Hold on. There was some time spent discussing certain matters of importance with certain individuals that were feeling unseen. Some vindication in knocking a pink vomitous bitch out. It felt good. Keeping up with the threats, daily reporting communication to certain personages, and expanding a network of communication to, the trolls were upset that they weren't being heard. Perhaps there were other parties that were more outlier cousins, shall we say, that were also feeling that they were not being heard, just for reasons. And then had been keeping an eye in correspondence with Lady Moreau, Zephyrine mother, about how Zephyrine is doing, and if we should be further concerned about any possible communication with unsavory types like Professor Moriarty, or if we, and if we're ready to start introducing her to appropriate young gentlemen, or ladies, or other beings, or just, Also,
perfect.
Making an appropriate list for Albert, because it is way past time for him to have found a partner of appropriate age and demographic.
For whom?
Adelbert. Oh, not Adelbert. Good Lord.
Adelwolf?
Adelwolf.
Trooper, I was watching Witcher Family of Wraiths. And I got a name. I got a name stuck in my head. That was not the appropriate name. Adelwolf.
Yes.
Yes.
So
had been spending time, just connecting with all of her contacts across Europe.
Excellent. So, let's go ahead. I forgot to mention the 2 checks that you made, Lindy. Count those as critical successes.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Let's go ahead and use your connections, Lady Deirdre.
Okay. Connections. Spades. Okay. Gonna have the card appear.
Same color, wrong suit is half, right?
Yep. No, for some reason the card wasn't showing up on the. So that's an 8, and her connections are great. So 16.
Okay. Um, you are able to keep connect the trolls with a member of the we'll say the spring court um, across the Vale to kind of help them have a more representation in matters.
Could I double that up with report in a certain member of the spring court who's a cunt?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that would give you a reason to talk to them anyway.
Fair.
And they are now, you can count them, the general, shall we say, population of the trolls as a friendly ally amongst others. You'll still need to convince them to do a favor for you, per se, but they are open to listening, no matter the situation. And what are some of the traits that you're looking for in an appropriately aged partner for one Adolf Bronx?
Intelligent, organized, able to keep a house of someone who is very intelligent but not always very down to earth. Able to keep their own counsel about a variety of things, possibly, and more importantly, not appear in any way, shape, or form like Zephyrine mother.
That's fair.
An intellectual challenger, but also of a sort that could run a household.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult, I understand.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Trooper? Lady Deirdre has really high standards for Adolf.
Yes, she is, however, an otherworldly being who is immortal. So
Yes.
These are as it is.
I'm gonna put a pin in that and then see what kinds of options I can come up with, unless you have any in particular.
Wasn't there someone at that wonderful party that I had to suffer through that I destroyed somebody's entire social season about?
Oh, yes. I do remember her. I don't remember her name immediately.
No, it was whoever I was talking to at the party.
I might have that written down. Let me check.
Not that one.
Oh, not from Norway?
Well, the nice girl from Norway was very nice, and Adolwulf did escort her home.
Yes. And then he pawned her off.
Yeah, so that could go either way of not really working. Someone slightly more...
So, because I escorted her home.
You did.
Mhm.
She was...
We need something. We need someone slightly more of an age with him to be a little bit more grounded in herself, or himself, or themselves.
Okay.
But wasn't there someone at the party in London?
Not London. Oslo.
No,
Amanda
no,
Shaw, I think.
The
No,
one
this
shot.
the one shot.
One shot.
The one shot
That
that
we
I
weren't
did.
there.
Oh.
That
Not at the party that you met.
okay.
You had the seamstress that you ran into.
Yes, that I was commissioning to wanted to take on as started to tie into. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to introduce her to the people in Norway about building this education network.
Yes.
And apprenticeships. So and there was one of the women, not the young girl that we sent home with Adolf, but one of the other women at that party in Norway who who wanted to talk about the education of the young of the city of Oslo, like wanted to know more about like, and was coming to a meeting about that, an appointment that we were going to have, like a tea or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who that was.
I'm checking my notes.
It wasn't the girl whose family had the estate that was being used. It was although we were encouraging her to come, it was the other girl who was older, the other like woman who was
not.
Yeah, but I'm blanking and I don't have it in front of me right now. I can't find it in my notes either. This is what happens when you have great notes.
I made more notes on the street urchins that you put to work than I did on the people at the party, apparently.
Look, the street urchins were much more important, obviously. They have much more going for them. They're going to be useful in the future. People at that party are just kind of, financial backers to get my street urchins into educated.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I think that would be interesting. She's gonna see if there are any of like that kind of work, like seamstress class, right? Like artisan class individuals that she's met that might work well for Adolf. You know, because you can teach them appropriate social graces to pass in the society that Adolf needs to, but they would be strong enough and intelligent enough and have their own.
I found the group, or the group of ladies that we set aside from Norway. The other ones, the two older ones. The eldest was Edith Loken. She's from an industrious family, primarily manufactures textiles. She's the family's bookkeeper who's interested in business and is talented for such. Then there was Matilda Langness, sorry. She's a minor noble, college educated in languages, works as an interpreter for various politicians.
It was the textile owner, and that's who I wanted to introduce the seamstress to.
Yes.
There we go. I knew it would get it back to that. But the textile owner, because she owns her own business and is busy and has her own thing, she also has organizational skills. Obviously.
Very much so. She can.
I believe she doesn't own the business, right?
No, but she doesn't own it. She runs it for her family.
Yeah, she's the bookkeeper.
That's Amanda Shao.
Amanda Shao was the one that you were supposed to escort.
Amanda Shao was the one who was supposed to escort home. This is an entirely different woman who I did not get to.
Yeah, I think she ended up on your dance card, but it was when we went like over. We just kind of skipped past as you did this dance, and now you're here as part of our going through that night. But yes.
So I would do a further background check on her to see if she's like worthy. You know,
she's talented. She can definitely keep a house. She's also busy enough that she wouldn't have to be in his business all the time.
Look, and now I just need to make sure she's not tied to any major criminal elements, right? Like we've already got to deal with Zephrine and the possible becoming a supervillainess.
She and her family have no ties to any particular nefarious organization, nor are they a budding mob family of any sort.
It's the little things we got to check. Okay, good. So she's going to start a correspondence with her of a professional sort from herself, and then we'll have introduced the seamstress, the seamstress from London to her. And also then invited this, when she finally gets to Paris, is going to invite that seamstress to Paris because she wants to introduce her to Lady Moreau and perhaps arrange a commission for Zephrine.
Danessa was in London on business, sort of. From a company in Amsterdam,
Oh, good.
where she's originally from.
So that's good. So that makes it even easier to introduce her to people in Norway. It's a nice kind of trade, and also if she's in Amsterdam already, it's so much easier to introduce her to Adelwulf.
Oh, absolutely. And she will basically let you know that she'll have to get back to you about being able to make time for Paris. She needs to know whether or not her current employer needs her back in Amsterdam for anything in particular. And so it'll take like a week or two. Obviously, in the downtime, we have that. Excuse me. And she will respond positively, and she will be able to arrive early January, we'll just say, to Paris. Unless you have an airship, travel still takes quite some time. It's not the quickest thing. So we'll say she finishes her business in London, she goes back to Amsterdam to take care of a few things, and then she's on to Paris by early January. So
yeah, so connecting Danessa, right?
I'm putting it in chat so that
Danessa with Edith, Evelyn, Edith.
Yes.
Whoever owns the textile company in Norway.
Yeah.
Or doesn't own, but runs the books for.
Family owns, but she doesn't. It was. Where are you again? I just moved my chat. There, Edith Loken.
There we go, Edith. There we go. I was close.
I'm gonna go ahead and just copy and paste it for you to the most current part of chat.
Thank you.
So it's easier for you to find. All right. Let's circle back to Adelwulf. Are you ready, Trooper? Are you on mute?
Trooper is on mute.
Yes, I had to change my earplugs, and I did not want to be making noises.
That makes sense.
When otherwise, did you ask me a question?
Yes. Are you? We've pretty much wrapped up with Lady Deirdre, and done some scheming about Adelwulf's love life. Have you finished your research on what lodges you might be reaching out to in Paris while you're there doing research?
Well, you'll have to tell me what my mission is. I can give you information. I've looked through as many books as I can. So the only orders that deal with elements like fire, etc., are not present in Paris, and they are the Druids. So it is unlikely that the Druids would give any sort of info like that at all to outsiders, and they aren't in Paris. They are mostly in Brittany, England, Northern German kingdoms, Ireland, Massachusetts, Scandinavia, Wales. You did send me a letter from somebody from the Order of St. Boniface, and the Order of St. Boniface does have a chapter house in Paris. However, their magical books do not involve elements, so they're not a good candidate for that. Yeah. That said, there is in Comifo, there is a new lore book called The Manual of Primal Forces Raised, and that it says about that history and secret knowledge born from the fires of the Enlightenment. This tome was developed jointly by Benjamin Franklin and Jean-Jacques Rousseau during the statesman's stint as an American ambassador to the French court. Franklin, a Freemason, sought to create a science of magic. As America was then at war with England, this book did not become part of the Freemasonic canon, but was used by a short-lived order composed of French and American revolutionaries, such as Adams, Jefferson, and Robespierre, called the Firebrands Club. The book vanished in 1812 and was only recently rediscovered and published by a French bibliophile, La Discipline Énergie Photomique, and allows for the generation, suppression, and alteration of light energy. So basically, there are a couple of these things that have to do with light energy and some about gravity. Um, so perhaps um, my job here is to try to find a copy of this book,
Yes.
or uh, because if this was a book that we never had access to, but it came out of Freemasons, one of whom is part of the American Freemason Lodge, which we hate. We don't like them very much, my group. So perhaps I'm here trying to find a copy of this book and then to study it.
Yeah, so definitely. That sounds like a great start because though Franklin is part of, or was at the time, part of the Freemasons, um, he was a vocal, um, shall we say, like adversary to much of what shifted the American Freemason Lodge into the villainous path.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he had passed, or shortly after he had passed, that's when most of the American Freemasons became known for more nefarious actions. During his time, it was a little bit of both. Um, so let's see here. Who else may have?
So imagine trying to sort of like do research on the firebrand. No,
Mm-hmm.
the book says that it was recently rediscovered and published, but I imagine we can say that it just was not published. But we know that it is about, because it's
Mm-hmm.
published, then anyone could buy it. So perhaps I've got to go and do research on the Firebrands Club, see if I can figure out. Maybe there's rumors that a French bibliophile had found it,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to find who this person might be, so I can then
Yeah.
maybe try to find this book and
So one of the
get
things
it.
about the publishing is that it does not seem to be either the full version or accurate,
Mm-hmm.
according to the Masonic Lodge and their records in Paris specifically of the firebrands. They there are certain passages that they can prove were taken from other works
Mm-hmm.
and substituted as filler. So the true
Mm-hmm.
book itself is still
Mm-hmm.
missing, but there is a
Mm-hmm.
published version that is pretty well known in Paris. But
Mm-hmm.
the Freemasons, in particular, one of their secrets is that that published text is imperfect compared
Mm-hmm.
to the original, which they have not located.
Okay. So my mission then is to try to see if I can
Mhm,
find an actual copy of this the manual primal forces raised.
mhm.
Okay.
Yes,
And I'm probably staying in the Paris chapter house of the Freemasons.
that makes sense. Um,
I have so
through
many PDFs open
your
right now. Just want you
let's
all to
do
know.
with let's start with education
And
for
I would
you.
imagine that I probably haven't made any progress yet because I probably have just arrived and have just sort of, I probably just mostly spent my time
Oh,
reading through the copy of the book. It's like the published version. Um, uh, right. So that like basically this is a new mission and I have just,
mhm,
I've arrived, I'm staying at the chapter house and I've
mhm.
probably read through the, um, the published version, which is not a true version. And I'm probably at the start of the investigation is what I would
Okay.
say.
Um, in your we'll say like the background research, the things that you could have done in Amsterdam before arriving, just to give you a place to begin your actual research in Paris. Let's go ahead and do an education check to kind of set that foundation for you of how much you might already have been able to, or how many possible leads you may have been able to come up with for when you start. How's that sound? So
Okay.
that way we're not starting from scratch completely.
Yes. What is the difficulty?
Diamond. The difficulty for that will be let's say a 14.
Okay. Um, I will not be successful, just so you know.
Okay.
But I will. Let's see, a 14 for education. Mm, 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 mm. I can play 2 cards. What can I get rid of? Let's see. I will get rid of, because I just need to get above a 7 so I do not fumble, so I can just have a regular fail. And I have an 8, so that's okay. So we're going to go with a 10, which is a fail.
Yes.
But
not
I
critically
don't.
so.
Yeah, it's not a fumble.
So for the audience, one of the things that you can do, definitely as part of a play, is that if you know you can't succeed, you can go ahead and instead play cards that you want to get rid of out of your hand. And that way you can
I
kind
drew
of
myself, by the
refresh
way.
your hand, which is what we saw Trooper do right there. You don't find a whole lot of leads from Amsterdam, as you didn't really expect to find many. There's a lot of conspiratorial discussion about a, well, an order called the Ancient Order of Chthonian Time, which is kind of a boogeyman in the sorceress world. They're a secret organization that has that offers dual membership to members in high positions across all the lodges, supposedly. Think like the way that in our world people speak about the Illuminati. This is how the sorceress world in Castle Falkenstein speaks about the Ancient Order of Chthonian Time. They are oftentimes blamed for what can't be understood or what can't be explained in a more like believable fashion. So you can take that with a grain of salt. There is always the possibility that they are involved in something that could be or that is secret or mysterious because of just the nature of who they are. Are you Trooper? Are you familiar with them?
In that sort of light way, I was just looking
If you
at
want to
them
know more of the basics of
recently.
them, it's page 27 in the book of sigils, just for player knowledge. So
Boom. I've got them up. Yeah, so I think I'm mostly, I'm trying to track down the real copy of a book.
Yeah.
Of a mysterious book.
What's something
that
else
is
that
said?
You would have been doing during this time that passed?
It's been a year, yes.
Well, no,
So
about
I am
6 to 7 months. We are in the new
months.
year, but it wasn't a complete year.
I probably would have spent some time pre-Paris trying to find out about Dr. Yu, because I had done research while we were in Amsterdam on our Peters, right? Balthazar Peters, but didn't even find anything connecting him to Dr. Yu. So I would have probably, to be a good citizen, as with the request from Vladimir Korsakov, I would have been doing research on Dr. Yu, been asking about, trying to keep my ears open to see if I could find any kind of leads to pass on to Vladimir Korsakov.
Yeah, so
he is an ex-member of the Ancient Order of Chthonian Time.
Yeah, Dr. Yu, yes, is a disgraced member of that order. for being too evil, apparently so. You will learn that Dr. Yu is well, no, you got that in the letter as well. He is you can confirm that he is a known member of the World Crime League. And he kind of, he tends to kind of like disappear and do his own thing from time to time, but is often present when the World Crime League is in need of his services. Like he's never gone completely AWOL per se, but he definitely disappears even from the World Crime League's like notice for months at a time, even up to as much as a year. You will also learn that his original lodge is contested as to where he began. That he is from an Eastern lodge.
Question.
Yes.
Question. So the Ancient Order of Chthonian Time may not actually exist. Is this correct? Like, I mean, it's rumor, boogeyman, but we don't really know if it's real or
it is contested as to whether or not it is real. There are people with quality reputations that believe that it is real and that it is actively, or it has membership that are active members, powerful members throughout various lodges. However, if that's true, or if it's not real, either could be an explanation for this. There is strong pushback showing varieties of types of evidence that could be interpreted as the order not existing. And this comes from reputable and powerful members across various lodges. So if it is true, they could be the members of the order keeping it secret. If it's not real, they are trustworthy and should be believed that it doesn't exist, right? So it's kind of a catch-22, which is one of the best parts about any sort of bogeyman, is that the evidence can be interpreted multiple ways, and that's why they exist. That's why they continue to exist, is because it's just believable enough. As a player, trooper, they exist.
And so rumor has it that he's a disgraced member of the Ancient Order of Chthonian Time, but we don't know if that's actually true, but that's what people say about him. But we do know that he works with the World Crime League.
Yes, and that he is a sorcerer of note and of power. He is, as his name implies, of Eastern what would that be? Northeastern hemisphere, or that'd be quarter sphere, but the eastern part of the world, one of the East Asian countries, and his actual lodge is also one that people are unsure of because he doesn't talk about it.
Has anybody do I know anyone who's ever met him? Right, like I know that the letter that I got was like he's on the trail, right, looking for him, but has not been able to get a hold of him. This makes him very slippery.
Yes.
He's right, that he's on the
he's
trail
very
of
Kaiser
him.
Sose-esque. You've met someone who met with someone who got orders from Kaiser Sose, kind of thing, from that movie. If anybody is old enough to remember The Usual Suspects from 1995, it's a great movie. Go check it out. Dr. Yu is that kind of person. So like you ran into Anders Nordholm, who worked with Balthazar Peters, who is supposedly an apprentice of Dr. Yu. Like that's the closest that anyone you talk to gets, is that 2 levels of separation.
Okay. So I think that I would have, before I came to Paris, would have done my due diligence
Mhm.
in Oslo and Amsterdam, seeing if I could, in the aftermath,
Mhm.
seeing if I could find any breadcrumbs
Yeah.
about Dr. Yu that I could send back
What
to
skill would you like to use for
Vladimir.
that type of research?
Let's see. This would have been. Uh, I would have gone through the um, plans that
Mhm.
we picked up
Yep.
the uh, from the warehouses and seeing if I can find any. And the correspondence, we grabbed a bunch of paperwork, right?
Mhm.
So I think I'd probably go through uh, the correspondence and the plans to see if I could pick up on any letters. So I think I would probably look for, I would say, um, I would probably look for Exchequer to see if I can
Mhm.
trace money.
Okay.
Um, and I think I would probably also look at, let's say, I suppose the best thing to do, sort of general research and reading, would be, I guess, education to go through the, um, uh, just all the paperwork that we found
Okay.
is what I imagine it would have been.
Which one do you want to start with? I'll let you choose.
Let's start with Exchequer.
Okay.
Uh, okay.
Now your exchequer is poor, so you only get to play one
Yes, it
card.
is. And I will also probably not be successful, but that is okay because he's also very mysterious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that I feel like that works. So what is my difficulty
12.
there? 12. Okay. I have. I happen to have a jack, which
Offsuit.
puts me at a
No, that's suit.
13.
That's of suit, yes. That gives you, yeah, 13. That's just enough to
Just
find.
enough to find some money trails, as it
Mhm.
were, in these letters, because we know that there was like Nordholm was talking to Peters, but
Mhm.
Peters was apprenticed to you, so maybe there might have been something in money, in like how money was
Yeah,
moved, that might give me some kind of lead that I could pass on to Korsakov.
for sure. So there was a significant amount of money sent um, to Peters and routed actually through Amsterdam. When you go and speak with the bank there, you
Mm-hmm.
will find um, that the person who deposited the money signed it over
Mm-hmm.
is one Dr. Yu. And you can get a
So
general description of the man from the person who was working that day. It's been a while, so it's kind of vague-ish, but he's a little shorter than average height, thin man, deep set, dark eyes, Asian descent, um, impeccable etiquette. Like that was the thing that stood out the most, is how polite and put together, felt like you were talking to someone of nobility kind of thing
mm-hmm.
without the
Mm-hmm.
pomp and circumstance.
Mm-hmm. So I can get a sense. So Nordholm was generally speaking, in his through his shell companies, um, paying for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
He contracted with Peters to make
Mm-hmm.
this machine. Peters gets a massive amount of money from Nordholm to Peters, routed through Amsterdam, but it's Dr. Yu, uh, Peters' master, who is the one who passes the money over from Nordholm to Peters. Is that correct?
No, this was directly sent to Peters while Peters was working with Nordholm. So
Mm-hmm,
this might not
mm-hmm,
actually be
mm-hmm.
connected to Nordholm's.
Right.
This could
Mm-hmm,
either be, it's more than what would cover like basic living expenses.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
This may be
mm-hmm,
connected to some other task that you had for Peters after
mm-hmm,
working with
mm-hmm,
Nordholm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
it's less
mm-hmm.
breadcrumbs leading to Nordholm and more breadcrumbs that could be leading to wherever um, Peters was headed afterwards, as well as where Yu is coming from, because he was in
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam at some point in time.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And this would have been
Uh,
early 1888, so like February of 1888.
okay. I think what I probably would do in that case is see if I would probably do some general sort of. So I live in Amsterdam, and I
Mhm.
don't recall Doctor You being any of the social scene.
No,
I
no, no,
assume.
no.
Um, yeah.
So
So
he
he
would
was
have just
not
been passing through in this situation.
sure passing through,
Yeah,
being laying low, being
potentially.
undercover, being suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I would probably and this was this deposit in what form?
Cash.
Banknotes from
Yeah,
cash.
banknotes.
From where?
London. It was all British. It was all British pounds.
British pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it was a large amount of money. Okay. I think what I would have done was
It was 1,000
let
British pounds.
1,000 British pounds. Um, I think what I would do is I would pass all that along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pass along all that information to Vladimir Korsakov before I came down to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I would do. Because if I,
Mm-hmm.
let him know that, yeah, it looked like, it looked like this Doctor You had come through Amsterdam. He had dropped off a large amount of money, British pounds, writing this letter back. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sort of give a description of what he looks like
Mm-hmm.
from the bank teller. It does not seem as if he is still here, but I hope that this information will be useful to you. Yours
Okay.
always, Adelwulf Brandt.
Um, and you will note the address just before or as you go to address the envelope that you got, the mail that you got, was actually the address of the what's it, the Basilica of Saint Nicholas in Amsterdam.
Mm.
So Korsakov, when he wrote you the letter, was staying in Amsterdam. Clearly he's not
Mm-hmm.
from Amsterdam,
Yeah.
but that's where he
Uh,
was staying when he sent it, and the
mm-hmm.
return address in which he gave you. So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah. Um, and I think I would, I would of course send it to that
mm-hmm,
to the Basilica to be forwarded on to him.
mm-hmm.
Uh, yes,
Did
because he was
you?
dealing with the Vatican and the Cathedral of Saint Nicholas. That's what he was sort of dealing
Yeah.
with, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Cathedral of Saint
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas, not Basilica. My bad.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but yes.
Yeah. So I think I would have sort of written that letter, and I would have passed that along uh, to the return address that I have of the
Okay.
Cathedral of Saint Nicholas, because I do not have any other address for him.
Mm-hmm. And did you
Well,
want to
hold
do?
on, that's actually
Mhm.
tricky, right? Hold on, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. So he was the address he gave me was the Cathedral of Saint Nicholas
Yes.
in Amsterdam, but he also thinks that that place is perhaps compromised and full of villains. So I probably should not send that letter to him there if he was staying there, because they might be bad guys. So I would just not send the letter to him. I would probably have to send a request up through my order to see if Mr. Korsakov has any other. Um, uh, I would send it. Let me think. I'd have to think of where the Order of Saint Boniface has a chapter house. I would send it to the one of the chapter houses of the Order of Saint Boniface
Mm-hmm.
that is not the Cathedral of Saint Nicholas.
Fair.
They have got
Pretty much anywhere that
everywhere. Yeah.
there is a large Catholic presence, the Order of
Mm-hmm.
Saint Boniface has a lodge, as they
Yeah.
are
So I would
directly
not.
tied.
Yeah, I would not send it through the Amsterdam Cathedral, since he was investigating malfeasance from that
Mm-hmm.
place. So I would drop off the letter at a different Order of St. Boniface chapter
Yeah,
house, probably on
fair
my
enough.
way out.
Okay. No, that works.
'Cause,
Did you want to do
you know,
education as well for looking through the papers?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Especially if Dr. Yu isn't actually involved with that situation. Yeah.
No, he doesn't seem to be directly involved with Nordholm. More involved by proxy through Balthazar Peters. The one thing that you may want to include is the energy source that Deirdre very vehemently destroyed at the end of season 1. And make a note that it was powered by the energies tied to the enemy, which would take a lot of sorceress power, either directly from the person or borrowed in some form of artifact, which you would just know from being a sorcerer yourself.
Yeah, and I think that I would include all of that. I wouldn't. He did not ask necessarily about all of that, and that I don't think I would be authorized to share too much about that. But I would give the information that would be relevant for him to help him on his quest to take down the villainous Dr. Yu.
Okay.
And I would also let him know that I will keep my ears open.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. All right. So we are hot on the trail of Dr. Yu, or maybe not so hot, warm on the trail of Dr. Yu.
Mostly look for a book.
And yes, as you look for a book, well, you know, secret books, mysterious origin, or not origins, mysterious missing passages, all of that kind of fun stuff is something that lodges find themselves involved in from time to time.
Indeed. Books are very exciting, so there's always something good going on with them.
So, let's move back, or let's move ahead to Paris. Who reaches out first to the others when you find out that they are there?
Well, Deirdre would make sure that she's already socializing with Lady Moreau, and would make sure that Zephyrin knew she was in town, but was not putting any pressure on her while she was engaged in academic research.
I'd be like, that's nice. Yeah.
And the minute Adelwulf enters Paris, there's a letter with contact information for Edith, and a letter that Edith wrote to Adelwulf.
Ooh, very good. Godmother's hard at work.
What does it say?
Well, the first letter is like the letter from Deirdre is just an introduction. How are you doing? Have you been eaten well enough? Don't forget to make sure not to light anything on fire, that you're a guest in this place and you don't want to cause a giant hole in your roof. That's not yours. Then there's perhaps a couple of people who are concerned about you, and I had some very interesting conversations with a nice young lady after you left the party. Or even before you left the party in Oslo. So she asked for your contact information. I said I would be seeing you eventually, and then I said that I would be able to take over the letter and deliver it where possible. And she said that was a right grand idea. And then we've been having such pleasant luncheons that I thought it would just be appropriate for me to deliver to you.
What does Edith's letter say?
Edith's letter mentions like something that you were talking about at the dance, is like a kind of like a technical question, and she's like, there's a general introduction of like, hi, this is who I am, we met here, this is what we were doing, and when we were talking you mentioned this, and I wanted to follow up, and it's a brief introduction, and then there's like the follow-up question that's technical, and then at the end it's like a little bit about herself, right? Like, and and I'd love it if you continued to correspond, right? The beginnings of correspondence.
he would respond, but not in a way that is like that you would if somebody asked a technical question. Right? It would not be. It would be professional, as it were. Like, oh, let me answer your question. This is what I know, and here are where you can find. Like, if he has the information, he would give it. Otherwise, he would like say where that information could be found, but it would not be the right kind of answer. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, I was asked a question, so now I will respond to the answer the question, and then I, would do so.
I can work with technical, professional correspondence. It begins with the word correspondence.
But he just answers the question, drops it off, and then he would sort of then let Zephyr know that he is in Paris doing some research, and that he is lodging at the chapter house, and I don't think he actually has a location to send messages to Deirdre because she is a fae, and I don't know, I think she just lives wherever she wants to. She's very mysterious.
Well,
and she also knows anyway.
You know how to send pixie mail. She taught you how to send pixie mail.
Oh, I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think you're supposed to go and. It's a bit dangerous to deal with the fae. You're not supposed to eat. So not just saying you're not supposed to eat food when you're there, but you're not supposed to. It's just it seems dangerous. You can always mess things up very quickly. And also, anyway, she knows where I am at all times, it seems. So I'm sure she knows I'm here. Oh, and that's this letter. So yeah, she does. No, that I'm here. But I do send the letter to Zephyr to let her know that because she has her parents live here. Yeah, so she's
her parents live here. Yes.
Yeah, she's local. So I just let her know, and I know that Lady Deirdre knows that I'm here.
Mm-hmm. 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 You also know that Lady Deirdre quite often visits the salons of Zephyr's mother, so that could also be another way to contact her if you wanted.
Oh, I let Zephyr know. Also, Lady Deirdre sent me a letter. She knows exactly where I am, so we are fine.
She's like an Irish Santa Claus. She knows when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake, or watches when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ja. Jawohl. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I do send my regards, so that people.
You will get macarons.
You send him back macarons?
Yes.
I think if you send him back the macarons, and then there's a postscript that 5 minutes later, there's just a delivery from a greengrocer who's around the corner from the lodge. It's like, and Lady Deirdre set up a weekly order to make sure that you have appropriate vegetable foodstuffs.
Macarons are very appropriate foodstuffs.
So he has vegetables and macarons, and he's like,
oh, and bread,
and
and the boulangerie to deliver the baguettes.
He looks at it. He puts it on his little counter, and he goes down to the. It's his lodge, gentleman's club. They have food. He gets dinner there. But he has the food upstairs. So because he sometimes forgets to go get food, and now he has food.
Yeah.
For when he's deep in reading, but he's not going to eat it now because now there's food being served. But he will have it for 4 a.m. when he realizes he hasn't eaten in 20 hours, and he cannot wake up the cook to go and make food for him. So he has it there ready for himself.
Why do I see him chewing on a carrot while reading by lamplight at midnight?
Yes,
absolutely.
Carrot, macaron. Yeah. You mix it up.
Don't you love it when people try and take care of you in the strangest of ways, but the most authentic of ways too?
Mm-hmm. Now I just I wonder, like fairy baked goods.
Well, then you could be indebted to, you know, Lady Deirdre, which could be worse. So, as you all find yourselves in Paris, um, the what's their name again? I keep forgetting their name, and I created them. That's my problem. The Society of the Loyal Hammer reaches out to Zephyrin.
Oh, that's right. That's a thing.
Yes.
She hasn't been
That you're a
thinking about it
member
at
of.
all.
Yes. Yep. They will.
But has she been thinking about the World Crime League? Is my question.
Oh,
Not that I would know.
obviously. Every day.
Hmm. Well,
Well, maybe
Moriarty,
every
at
other
least.
day. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, that's much more honestly, yeah, what it is.
And whether or not he still thinks of her.
I hope he thinks my work was very good. I did exactly as he asked.
Uh-huh.
Wait, do we just need to get Zephyrin a red and green gown that's a little bit off-sized with this really awkward headpiece and have her start singing about Hannibal? Because then does that make Jules Verne, Raoul, and Moriarty the Phantom?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. He does look good in a mask, so. Or at least Zephyrin believes he looks good in a mask.
Oh, she'd believe you look good in a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, the loyal Hammer reaches out and asks whether or not you have been able or have had success. They basically ask for a report on what you're doing with
yeah.
Jules Verne in regards to the engine itself, as their primary like interest is in tinkering and sorcerous engineering. They also will alert you to a task that they wish for you to look into or to do, which is looking into the presence of basically someone's buying up a lot of inventions that could be repurposed for war.
Oh.
And they are concerned that it is an agent of Prussia, as Prussia has been basically they're the big boogeyman in New Europa when it comes to war. Otto von Bismarck has threatened to invade people when they don't do what he wants politically, etc., etc. So, with Amsterdam's proximity to Prussia, they're a little concerned if there is an actual ramping up of war-related material being procured in Paris, and they will give you the contact name of basically a fence that is friendly to non-criminals in Paris. Where's my French name generator to give you a name? There we go. Leopold Castex. And I will put that in the chat for you. Otherwise known as Uncle Leo. For you to be able to start your inquiry and get at least confirmation of the information they were given, because they can't confirm it's how genuine it is from all the way in Amsterdam.
Okay. They will file it away. And they get a way too long of a report back about the Infernal Engine, probably way more details than they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were like, oh, we want like a report. It's like a report. So they're probably like, that's a lot. It's gonna take them a while to get through it all. And yeah, then she'll probably reach out with macarons and a letter to both Adolf and Lady Deirdre, being like, you want to get a gang back together for a mission? Question mark.
I have a question. What is Zephyrine handwriting like? What is her penmanship like?
Oh, it's really nice. It's nicer than her manners, generally speaking.
Is there any chocolate on the letter? I just have questions. Is it
No,
scented?
she keeps. Oh, it would be scented. Because she's got a good exchequer. You know what I'm saying? And a good social graces and things. She's got very nice, very ladylike penmanship. I imagine she's got a few different types of stationery, but the one she uses for social occasions, not reports. You don't use the good scented paper on reports. I imagine. Let's see. Zephyrine. Ooh, gardenia. It's probably a nice little gardenia scented paper. Not heavily, just like when you open the envelope, there's a little waft.
It is. I wonder if that's the scent she uses when she writes to Moreau. So my question is, when she says, "If you want to get the gang back together,"
you mean Moriarty?
Yes.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. It absolutely is. She uses the gardenia scented embossed paper, which is the next step up.
Nice.
Yeah, the special occasion paper, not just the social pleasantries paper.
Does she, when she says, "Do you want to get the game back together for a mission?" Does she give Does she offer a location to call upon it?
Probably like a place to go get tea, like have some snacks and tea. Afternoon meeting time, you know.
Because I could not invite people over to my orders chapter house in that way.
It's probably at a nice little boutique or cafe, you know. Somewhere that has like little private secluded areas or rooms, you know, for private conversation, private parties.
And I think, of course, Adolf would write back and, thank you very much for this invitation. It will be my pleasure to see you and there as requested. I assume also that Lady Deirdre will be there as well. I will be looking forward to seeing you both. Yours, sincerely, Adolf Brandt. And his handwriting is uptight. Is the best way that I could put it. He has uptight handwriting. He did not grow up...
Not the beautiful flowy script with the calligraphy pen. Yeah.
No. It looks as if he did go to university, so he didn't grow up with he did not grow up learning fancy script, but he's doing well enough. But he's also a little uptight, so it's not as curvy. It's a little bit. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen German Sutherland script, it is very pointy. So his response is very, very pointy. Lots of pointiness in his handwriting as he sort of responds with his like little note saying that he will be there.
The name I gave for the cafe is the Hidden Shrine Tea Room in downtown Paris.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice. Lady Deirdre sends back a very short confirmation that she will attend and be there, and just making sure you're eating well, darling. Is there anything else you need? And then there's a postscript. Like, make sure you check in. I hope you're eating enough while you're doing this. And then there's a little postscript at the end. And your mother wanted me to send along a small package. I'll deliver it when we meet.
Right.
and I think Deirdre would get to the cafe early and is going to be waiting at the cafe and using this as kind of like a time away from humans that she's staying with to send stuff.
So you'll use the private room to call forth Beetle. And are you going to ply him with baked goods from the tea room?
And hot chocolate.
And hot chocolate.
Because French hot chocolate.
Yes.
Just French sipping chocolate. Fabulous. Or get a small pot, share with him. And she has a ledger and an accounting book. And she's sending invoices to certain parties on account of what she had to do for the spring court and the trolls, and you know, the entire trip to London is being expensed.
Now, are you sending any of this to anybody that you expect to send money back?
She's sending a copy both to Oberon and to his secretary in an official capacity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's expensing this shit.
Excellent.
I'm going to assume that Zephyrine will get there early because she is hosting the tea, and Adelwulf would arrive exactly on time. Like,
of course he would.
Of course, just exactly on time. Like he would probably be like 1 minute early, but wait the 30 seconds so he could cross the threshold exactly on time. Just, you know, and he's got his pocket watch that he checks and he makes sure is, you know. Of course, one of the first things that Adelwulf does whenever he gets to a new location is goes to the main central cathedral of that city and then adjusts his pocket watch so that he is precisely on time for that city. Just, you know, it is important.
Yes, absolutely.
To be punctual.
So did you set it to Notre Dame or Sacré-Cœur?
I would have picked the one that Zephyrine m'other sets her time to.
Of course, of course.
How do I feel like Zephyrine Moreau, that Mrs. Lady Moreau sets her watch to Sacré-Cœur?
Not my mom. I don't know.
She's your mom, though.
What would she have taught Zephyrine to set her watch to?
Oh, you assume Zephyrine like sets her own watch.
True.
That sounds like a lady's maid job that I can't be bothered with because it's not. If I mess with my watch, I'm gonna be busting that thing open and tinkering with it. So
it's also not really ladylike, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
does that for you.
I imagine she was told to set her watch, but then every time she was told to set her watch, her mother would walk back into the room and the watch would be like half torn apart, and she was like, "Okay, you know, we gotta come up with a workaround for that."
Indeed.
It's a Genevieve job.
It's definitely
to spare the poor watch from being torn apart time and time again. I mean, like, oh, but maybe if I just tinkered with it. No, the watch doesn't need special secret things.
You could improve it, right? Like, clearly.
Exactly. Clearly, every single time. So it's just that Genevieve does it. Just.
All right. So, Genevieve is. Does she come with you? Or does she stay at the house?
This seems like more confidential stuff with the hammer, the loyal hammer. So, I think she would have Genevieve stay at home. Okay.
And I assume that she would make it known that she is not going to be meeting alone with a man. So that...
Oh yes, she would say that she's going to be meeting with Lady Deirdre and Adelwulf. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Which Genevieve would know of Adelwulf.
Godmother.
Adelwulf is
fairy
known
godmother.
To the family. And the fairy godmother, indeed.
Chaperoned.
Well chaperoned. So, we will find ourselves at the Hidden Shrine Tea Room. Beetle has left a few minutes before Adelwolf arrives. Mostly because he wants to finish his sipping chocolate, and he's being a little obstinate about having to finish his sipping chocolate. All of the correspondence has already been handled and is in his possession, but it's too good to pass up. How do you start the meeting?
Well, first I pour everyone tea, because
Okay.
that's important to be a
Mhm.
good hostess, is serve the tea. And then I imagine we've each got those little the beautiful caddy of all the little finger sandwiches and the
Mhm.
treats, and it's just very delicious. And we've all got our little doily placemats, and it's a very I imagine it's a very frilly tea room is what I'm gonna say. Lots of fresh flowers and lace and all that stuff, and the works. And so then she'd, after pouring everyone tea and offering cream and sugar, and you fix the light, get your plates out, and everyone's got their food in front of them. I think she'd just hold out the letter, and it's just like, so I have been contacted to look into some shady business, and I figured what's better people to reach out to look into some shady business than you two.
What sort of shady business?
Someone is buying inventions that could be repurposed for war, and they're scared it's Russia, so we should look into it.
Let me see if there's more informations here. And
Just hand over the letter.
We'll read it
Yeah.
because he's like, someone's buying these dangerous things. From whom? What? Where did you get this letter? And wait. And he's not actually expecting you to answer, because he imagines actually all that information is actually just in the letter. But he's just sort of saying those things out loud as he's reading this letter to see.
When you're done, pass it
What
on.
is in
And
there?
I'm just eating my tea snacks.
Yeah. I will indeed, yes, yeah. So this is from the hammer. Stop. Hammer time. And is it from the local chapter house, or is it from the Amsterdam chapter house?
Amsterdam chapter house. That's their primary chapter house, is in Amsterdam. And they sent it through their chapter house here, which is actually quite small, and they rely on the Freemasons' generosity when it comes to needing access to research materials, things like that, as they're basically an offshoot. They're like a sub-chapter of the Freemasons that focuses mostly on tinkering and tinkering-related magics.
So the Amsterdam chapter house is aware that someone is buying large amounts of military-style goods in Paris.
They were given a tip, and they need someone to confirm that this is real. They're concerned because of their location or their close proximity to Prussia. It's kind of like in early 1900s Europe, how Poland was always kind of on edge because the German army was always a threat to potentially invade. Amsterdam, the people that are in charge there are always a little bit wary of Russia when war talk comes up, because they know they're one of the biggest ports to the Northern Sea. They know that there'll be someone or a location that Prussia will want early on.
So I think the question that he's looking for when he's getting this is, what goods and bought from where, right? Like, getting a tip that someone's buying this up is like, okay, well, but what are they, like, more details, right? Like, to see, because this could be a trap, you know what I mean? It could be like could be a questionable tip, right? So, like, what goods where, from whom?
So some of the
clearly
things
don't know
that,
who was buying it, but like at least what
Oops.
was being bought and from where, right?
yeah. So the list of things that was included as examples to the chapter house in Amsterdam that was relayed to Zephyrine uh, included things like the uh, material that is used to bind the tracks together for tanks,
Hmm.
um, the uh, large cylindrical wheels that are used also to uh, turn the tank tracks, because Prussia is well known for their um, infernal machine of the land fortresses, which are these like
Hmm.
Yep.
city-sized tanks
Hmm.
that they can deploy. And so anything that could be seen as tank tread material is always
Hmm.
something that gets attributed to them when they're bought in large quantities.
Hmm.
Um, the other is a lot of heavy duty um, in like industrial tripods, which it's the same construction that's used for both um, like large construction projects that need site oversight with like a telescopic lens, or for seafaring vessels. But it's also the same construction that's used to mount large guns on ships as well. So a lot of wartime, like basic wartime materials, have a civilian application as well, so that the company can still make money when people aren't killing one another or gearing up to kill one another. And so it's a lot of those kinds of materials. This could be used for a variety of other purposes, but the fact that they are all related to the construction of a land fortress is what gave the Loyal Hammers chapter house reason to ask for confirmation. But on their own, they're very mundane.
Um, I passed the letter over to Lady Deirdre.
Mhm.
Does it
Uh,
say where these things were bought from?
They were told that it's being moved on the black market in Paris. That's all. So there's very little
Uh,
in that regard, which is why they don't know if they should believe it,
mm,
and definitely want someone to confirm if this is just a rumor, if this is
mm,
just some sort of lie made up to make people nervous,
mm-hmm,
or other political,
mm-hmm,
action, or if there's genuine validity to it.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm,
Lady Deirdre takes the letter, reads through it, makes note of the requests, uh, makes note of particular things, and then starts a running list of things she's going to ask Beetle for. The chief among them is, have there been any reports on Oberon's desk of such things? What are the official, like, can you get me Oberon's, official, official, unofficial, although I think I should qualify for official, um,
Mm-hmm.
current intelligence reports about Prussia, right? Like,
Okay.
what are there any major troop movements going on? Are there any changes? We know that Prussia is being held in place mostly by um, the big giant ends that Jules Verne
Mm-hmm.
has pointed
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah,
Is
the
there?
Verne cannons are their biggest defense, Europe's biggest defense against the land fortresses,
Yeah. So
because it's about the only weapon that can take out a land fortress by itself.
and then she's going to start making a list of, have there been anybody visiting any of the, and she'd ask, Zephyrin, my dear, has there been anybody
Yes.
visiting Monsieur Verne that is not of an academic bent, asking questions perhaps about weaknesses in the Verne canons, or
Has there been, to my knowledge?
Let's. Hmm. Why don't you give me would it well your choice between uh, perception to see if
Mm-hmm.
you remember overhearing anything. There's a perception, yes, perception
Mm-hmm.
or social graces, whichever you
Mm-hmm.
feel like Zephyrine would rely on more for learning about the interruptions, because he does get interrupted a lot as a political
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
member of the government, because he has an important role. But how
Mm-hmm.
much you learn from when those happen, that's what we're going to measure. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Question. What
Mhm.
does the Joker card do again? What is that?
Joker is a 15. It is the
Oh,
highest score, and when you play it, um, it improves the success. But it
cool.
can be any suit.
Unless it's
Great.
sorcery, in which case it's real bad.
Yes, in
Yeah, in
sorcery,
which case I know it was bad in sorcery, but I knew it wasn't bad in regular, but I couldn't remember what it was.
yeah.
In which case, let me check my skills. Perception. Oh, I do have a good perception one. But I think we should just make this real good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I
I mean,
mean?
don't forget you can play multiple
This
cards.
Yep.
I know that's what I'm saying. I think we should just make this really good because the cards reset, I believe, after a
Yep.
game. So we're gonna
Yes, they do.
just do these and flip them both.
Excellent.
And we'll do perception because I think that is what she would use more than social graces. Because I don't think she would be interacting with his guests as much as just dropping eaves.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. And perception is good, so that's a base 6 plus
15
uh,
plus.
24, so 30. We're
Yeah,
gonna,
I
even
hear
with the
everything.
secretive nature, we're
Yeah,
gonna
because
definitely
perception's a
count that as a
diamond. So
critical.
yeah, baby.
We're gonna count that a critical success.
Sweet.
And
Okay,
you
to
will
expect.
know that not only has he been interrupted, which always bums you out. So dropping eaves happens because
Yeah.
how
10 plus
dare
15.
they interrupt your one-on-one time with Jules Verne? I mean, seriously,
How dare they?
what's wrong
Yeah,
with
they
them?
better be. It better. The reason better be good. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Is what I'm
So
listening for.
besides like the day-to-day stuff that he has to be involved in or sign off
Yeah.
on because he's the signatory or whatever, um, there are a number of military folks that show up to ask him questions related to France's defenses. Um, Nothing in particularly related to the Verne canon, other than that you picked up on, other than it was clearly talked about because it's part of their defenses. It's like their main defense. But they have discussed alternatives to it. Um, but you don't know how rare or that is in the military conversations of the French. But you do know that it came up on multiple occasions of trying to take stock of their defenses that are other than the Verne canons in case of conflict throughout New Europa.
She'll relay that to the group. Like, what do you think about it? And then this and that and this other thing.
And then the host has a question for you related to the
Yes.
tea.
Yes.
So I threw in chat. There is a company established in 1854 in Paris, tea company called the Mariage Frères. I think I'm saying that
Mariage
correct.
frère.
Frère. They have, and I don't know if it was this old, but I saw on their website they have a collection called the Royal Fairy Tea collection.
Yes.
So I'm just making it canon that existed in 1889, and that's what you
Absolutely.
ordered, correct?
Sure, love it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Seems fitting.
Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored, but if they ever want to, I'll make sure that their teas are in all of our shows.
I'm drinking a tea now. Could be their tea.
Could be their tea. Yeah, absolutely.
So, something is occurring to me in this moment. As they're assuming that this is some sort, if this is true, this is the Prussians perhaps making the land fortress by buying these materials and such. But some things about that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, in the sense that, I mean, Prussia has its own industrial base in the Ruhr. So I don't know why Prussia would be trying to buy materials for the land fortresses through the Parisian black market. They have their own, I mean, they have an entire industry, a whole infrastructure. You don't buy things on the black market like that if you have your own ways to mine and refine. So, I mean, we didn't even know the land fortress were a thing until they surprised us with this. So, it sort of implies to me that the idea that the terrible Prussians are doing it might not be correct. Perhaps there's some
Could be
sort
someone
of,
else. Oui.
Exactly, this is what I'm thinking, like some sort of third party who doesn't actually have the industrial base of an entire country. So there might be some
Could
sort
be a
of
small faction or something part of a larger scheme.
Or possibly one of the Bayern's allies trying to recreate it without using official channels to avoid political conflict. That might be something that Adelwolf or Lady Deirdre might think of, that it's maybe one of the good guys trying to make a land fortress as a defense, but trying to leave the country's legit elements out of the loop for political cover.
Never ends well.
No. But that's also how, like, the British
It
SAS
could be
was
the
formed.
World Crime
So
League.
it could also be the World Crime League trying to make their
Are
own
you
weapon.
thinking that the World Crime League might be trying to make a land fortress? Do you
I
think?
mean, we never know. We should definitely investigate.
There's a little red book that comes out, like a little tiny little pocket book. Book. It's like there's a little hash mark that gets marked and it puts back.
If this is indeed the World Crime League trying to make their own land fortress, that would be terrible.
I would
Something
also be.
awful.
We would need thorough investigation. I mean, regardless of what it is, but thorough investigation.
We should
is
definitely
wanted.
investigate. We should definitely consider all possibilities. I should also put forward that perhaps we have a conversation with the gentleman who might perhaps act as an intermediary for certain parties who may or may not be legally responsible and may or may not have legally acquired such items.
Leopold, Uncle Leo, that person?
He seems like a wise individual to have a conversation with. And she kind of looks at Adelwolf and is like, remember, we don't threaten the nice fence with being arrested.
But we're talking about someone who does illegal things.
And we want him to talk to us.
Oh.
So we can get on the
Illegal
trail of the real illegal buyers.
Exactly.
I will try not to threaten him with being arrested, but again, it is illegal to do illegal things. Like this is sort of crimes. What sort of illegal things does he do?
It's only a crime. It's only a crime if his government doesn't recognize his ability to do so.
Well, technically, he might not be selling things. He could just be connecting people with other people who do illegal things. He could just be a connections person.
So he's dishonorable. Oh, this is terrible. Well, I will have to just not. I will not threaten him with arrest at the moment. Oh, so I have no idea this black market. Yes. Is it an actual market? Is it like a market you go in? It's at night.
It
Depends.
Like it's a store and you go there and you say, I'm looking for the illegal
It
things. I don't know
depends.
how you buy illegal things actually.
We
Don't
have
know
to
how you would
talk.
do that.
We will. I've read about it.
I'll
Also,
introduce
so
you.
we
There's some
should.
very nice individuals who provide very nice items that are necessary for those individuals who are discussing things in an aggressive manner with their oppressors.
I don't think I don't want to buy any illegal items. That would be breaking the law. It's not the
Who
right thing to
would do that?
Absolutely
Exactly,
no
so-
one at any point in time would ever consider Adalwulf breaking the law.
Good. I will accompany you with this person who is engaging in dishonorable behavior. He might be, well, rude or inappropriate. So I will make sure that you are safe. But I should not talk to this person. I will be there as a strong, silent type in the background.
Strong
looking
silent type
somewhat,
is very good. Oui.
A little
threatening.
blue book comes out and a little mark gets made, and that one she puts it back.
I would just look, a bit, like don't try anything, that sort of a thing.
You're very dashing, Adalwulf.
No, more
Strong and
like I
silent.
don't-
Strong and silent.
Yeah. All right. Also, I don't know how you. Do you use like secret code words to the black marketeers? Do you say things like, "Hello, black marketeer. I am here to buy the goods that are illegal, but red." Or I don't know how that works. How you do the illegal things.
This seems very inefficient. You want to actually ask for specific items.
You just
And on
ask
that
them. for
note,
the-
that question, we're going to wrap up this session. And so, as we do, let's go around the table, remind the folks who you are, where we can find you.
Okay.
I'll go. Yeah,
Chris, go first.
I'll go first. My name's Chris Geary. You can find me on Blue Sky at Chris Geary. You can find me here on Prax's channel as the host of Truly Madly Falkenstein.
And then Trooper, because apparently our action alchemist is well informed about illegal activities.
Well, I think he says, "I'm looking for the illegal drugs. I am not a narc." I think that's just how he does it. Trooper SJP. Generally speaking, you can find me on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. on my channel Trooper SJP, streaming some sort of TTRPG right now. I'm at the moment that this is being recorded, I'm streaming Traveler, but when you watch this, I don't know what I'll be streaming. You'll have to find out by checking me out on Twitch. And then you can also find me most likely, depending on when this airs, on Sundays at 8 p.m. on my channel, Laugh Love Lindy's channel, Wandering DM's channel, and a fourth channel, which will depend on when you watch this, 8 p.m. on Sundays on Twitch for Roleplay Reflect.
Indeed. And Lindy.
It me, Laugh Love Lindy. You can find me online as such. Twitch, YouTubes, etc. I'm running games. I'm playing in games. Just find me.
Indeed. Find the Lindy, find the Trooper, find the Chris, everybody around. And I have been your friendly neighborhood Prax at Prax the Bard over on Instagram and Hive and Blue Sky, and Prax Gorath as me before you see me around on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for chilling with us. And we'll see you next time on Truly Madly Falkenstein. Bye-bye.